When discussing hygiene, most people follow the standard routine: soap, water, rinse, and repeat.
37 साल से स्नान हमने नहीं किया.
But one man took a radically different approach. He refused to bathe entirely. Known as the dirtiest man in the world, he spent decades avoiding showers, even using dirt as skincare. Shockingly, his extreme aversion to cleanliness eventually cost him his life. Let's explore his story and others embracing this anti-hygiene lifestyle.
This is the first time I got to see her being really cheap, so this was just completely like a shock.
Savings over hygiene.
I don't believe in paying for furniture. I have never bought furniture.
Kate Hashimoto lives a life that borders on minimalism, embracing unconventional methods to drastically reduce her expenses. As a qualified public accountant in New York City, Kate is highly skilled at saving money, employing unique and sometimes controversial strategies. Her lifestyle challenges societal norms around consumption and waste, with practices that range from dumpster diving for food to avoiding toilet paper. One of Kate's main strategies for cutting costs involves sourcing food and furniture from dumpsters. She carefully selects items that are still sealed, such as rice or chicken, ensuring they remain uncontaminated. For Kate, retrieving discarded goods not only saves money, but also reduces waste. She finds value in reusing items that others would throw away, including furniture, which allows her to furnish her home without paying retail prices. Her personal hygiene practices also reflect her frugal mindset. Instead of using a washing machine, Kate washes her clothes in the shower to save on water and electricity. After using the restroom, she opts to rinse with water rather than using toilet paper. She even reuses paper towels from public restrooms, drying and recycling them for household cleaning. Kate's approach to cooking is similarly minimalist. She uses her oven and dishwasher for storage, cooking her meals on a hot plate instead. Her meals are simple, often made from foods salvaged through dumpster diving.
This is the first time I got to see her being really cheap, so this was just completely like a shock.
A dinner party with friends tested her frugality. To entertain her college friend Matt and his girlfriend Rose, Kate visited a nearby dumpster, finding ingredients like chicken, rice, salad, and even a cake for dessert. While Kate's lifestyle may prioritize savings over cleanliness, it's a reflection of her desire to minimize costs and reduce waste in every aspect of her life. Strange Life of AMU Haji. AMU Haji, a man from the small village of Deja in Iran, became known as the dirtiest man in the world due to his extreme refusal to bathe for nearly 65 years. His grimy appearance was not the result of poverty or religious beliefs, but rather a deep conviction that cleanliness would make him ill. This unusual lifestyle, which baffled those around him, was more than a rejection of hygiene. It was a personal statement shaped by childhood trauma and emotional scars. Amu's avoidance of cleanliness served as a silent protest, perhaps even an attempt to cope with the pains he had never fully confronted. Beyond his unusual hygiene practices, Amu's life was defined by independence and an aversion to modern comforts. He preferred living outdoors, often sleeping in a small tomb he had dug himself, believing it connected him to the earth. Despite villagers offering him a brick shelter, he chose to sleep under the open sky, embracing the simplicity of life. Amu's eating habits were equally unorthodox. Rather than fresh food, he preferred decaying meat, especially porcupine. He drank from a rusty oil can, consuming up to 5 liters of water daily, and turned down clean water offered by others. Even his smoking habits were peculiar. He often lit 5 cigarettes at once and sometimes used animal feces in his pipe, further distancing himself from conventional practices. AMU did not use scissors or razors, instead singeing his hair with an open flame. In 2022, villagers managed to convince him to take a bath, but sadly he passed away in October of that year at the age of 94. While some speculated that the bath contributed to his death, it is unclear if his beliefs about hygiene played a role. His life challenges us to reflect on the pursuit of happiness, as he lived free from material desires, untouched by modern distractions. Jamsuk's mystical locks. Jamsuk, known as Thailand's Rapunzel, has spent over 2 decades cultivating a thick matted dreadlock that matches her 5-foot height. Unlike Tran Van Hay, whose decision was based on illness, Jam's hair journey began with cultural superstition. In her 30s, as her hair began to mat naturally, local elders warned her that cutting or washing it would bring bad fortune. Respecting this advice, Jam chose to leave her hair untouched. This decision reflects her strong adherence to tradition. While others may dismiss such beliefs, in her tribe they are deeply respected. Jam's dreadlock, now a symbol of resilience and identity, represents her commitment to her culture and personal conviction. World's Smelliest Man. Kailash Singh, a 65-year-old farmer from a village near Varanasi, is known for his unconventional and often ridiculed lifestyle. For over 37 years, he has steadfastly refused to bathe or cut his hair, earning the unfortunate title of the world's smelliest man. This unusual choice of living stems from a promise he made decades ago and has become a defining part of his identity. The story began in 1974, shortly after Singh married his wife, Kalavati Devi. A priest whom Singh trusted told him that if he abstained from bathing, he would be blessed with a son. Eager for a male heir, Singh accepted the priest's advice and hasn't washed himself since. However, despite his efforts, he had 7 daughters and no son. Yet he continues to honor his vow. This decision has made life difficult for Singh, especially in the scorching heat of his region, where temperatures often reach 47 degrees Celsius. He spends his days working in the fields and caring for cows, all while drenched in sweat. Singh's concept of cleanliness is unconventional. Each evening, he performs a ritual he calls a fire bath, which involves smoking marijuana and dancing around a bonfire. He believes this act is spiritually purifying and removes the sweat from his body, although his family and neighbors do not share his views. His wife, Kalavati, has tried to persuade him to change his ways, even attempting to take him to a nearby brook for a forced bath. But Singh managed to escape and has remained resolute. Even the threat of denying marital intimacy has had no effect. He'd rather die than take a bath, Kalavati says, though she has come to accept his eccentricity after so many years. Singh's peculiar habits have made him a target for mockery, especially from the village youth. Kids tease me when I ride my bicycle through the village, he admits, but he remains unbothered. For his youngest daughter, Pooja, her father's unusual ways have been a source of embarrassment, although she's learned to accept it. Now I just accept it. There's nothing we can do. He doesn't listen to anyone, she says. Dirt that keeps you clean.
When was the last time you took a shower? You don't even know, right?
I don't, yeah.
Roughly, how long is it?
It's been at least 12, 13
12, 13,
years.
whatever.
Yeah.
18 years ago, a simple question sparked a hygiene revolution. Chemist David Whitlock was on a date when he was asked, "Why does my horse roll around in filth all day?" While it could have been an awkward moment, it instead led to a scientific pursuit that would reshape Whitlock's approach to hygiene, and possibly the world's. Intrigued by horses' behavior, he realized that rolling in mud might be nature's way of maintaining healthy skin. His research uncovered a surprising fact. The mud horses roll in contains Nitrosomonas eutropha, a type of bacteria that feeds on ammonia, a major sweat component responsible for body odor. This bacteria neutralizes ammonia, turning it into nitrite, which has potent anti-infective properties. Whitlock began wondering if humans could benefit from this microbial process. Rejecting traditional hygiene methods, he developed a bacterial spray called Mother Dirt. Rather than using soap to wash away germs and oils, a few spritzes of this spray would encourage beneficial microbes to thrive, maintaining skin balance without disturbing its natural pH or defenses. For nearly 2 decades, Whitlock has followed this unconventional routine, avoiding showers and using the spray daily, occasionally washing with water when needed. He believes that frequent soap use disrupts the skin's natural oils and pH balance, leading to dryness, acne, and irritation. Whitlock promotes a back-to-nature approach, where good bacteria, like those on horses, maintain skin health. His lifestyle has even inspired others, including Dr. James Hamblin, Europe's fire-devoted outcast. In the peaceful village of Sikov, Czech Republic, Ludwig became infamous as Europe's dirtiest man, not due to a lack of hygiene, but because of his bizarre obsession with fire. His life revolved around setting things ablaze, which blackened his skin with soot and scorched his hair, leaving him perpetually marked by his fiery passion. His obsession with fire gradually consumed his life, transforming his deserted farmhouse into a charred shrine to his madness. Ludwig sought out anything flammable, old tires, plastic scraps, even discarded materials, to feed his insatiable craving for fire. On cold nights, he found warmth not from a traditional hearth, but from the embers of his flames. The ashes and smoke clung to him like a second skin, shielding him from the cold while symbolizing his complete devotion to the blaze. Locals and authorities, wary of his actions, stopped offering him money, instead providing him with food, knowing that giving him cash would only fuel his destructive habit. Though eccentric, Ludwig became a familiar figure, his sooty appearance and unrelenting need for kindling marking his presence. In December 2016, when Ludwig missed his usual food delivery, concerned neighbors discovered his lifeless body in his farmhouse, surrounded by the remains of his fire-filled existence. The cause of death was unclear, but years of inhaling toxic fumes from burning materials likely played a role in his untimely demise. Sridhar Chalal's journey.
19-foot-long fingernails. The 61-year-old Chalal's been growing the fingernails on his left hand since he was 16.
Guinness World Records have long captivated people's imaginations, celebrating the unusual, the strange, and sometimes the unimaginable. Some of these records come with consequences few are willing to endure. Sridhar Chalal from Pune, India, is a prime example of how a singular ambition can leave a permanent mark, both literally and figuratively. In 2014, he earned the Guinness World Record for the longest fingernails on a single hand. For an astonishing 66 years, Chalal refrained from cutting the nails on his left hand, allowing them to grow to a staggering 360 inches, roughly the length of a London double-decker bus. Though impressive, this accomplishment came with its share of hardships. Everyday tasks became nearly impossible. Sleeping was uncomfortable as he couldn't adjust his blanket or change positions easily. Every day presented new risks, from gusts of wind to curious children or the occasional passing car, each posed a potential threat to his nails. Additionally, Chalal faced challenges in his personal life, particularly in his youth. His commitment to his nails often left others confused or wary, making it difficult for him to form relationships. The motivation behind his extraordinary decision can be traced back to his childhood. After accidentally breaking his teacher's nail, Chalal was scolded, with the teacher emphasizing the patience and care required to maintain long nails. This encounter deeply affected him, leading him to vow never to cut his nails again. What began as a rebellious act blossomed into a lifelong dedication, culminating in a world record. In 2018, his nails were finally cut at Ripley's Believe It or Not museum in New York, and they are now on display. Unfortunately, the physical toll of carrying the weight of his nails has left him with permanent damage, including paralysis in his left hand and nerve damage extending up his arm. Vietnam's hair legend. Tran Van Hay, a Vietnamese man, turned his wild hair into a legendary tale. By the time of his passing in 2010, his hair had grown to an astounding 22 feet long and weighed 23 pounds. His unusual journey began decades earlier when a haircut left him feeling ill, prompting him to make a life-changing decision. He would never cut or wash his hair again. Over the next 50 years, his hair grew into a massive matted coil, far beyond the typical dreadlocks. Unlike styled dreadlocks, Tran's hair was entirely natural and out of control, forming a gigantic, untamed mass. This decision wasn't driven by fashion or tradition, but was a personal response to a unique challenge. The result was hair that looped around his body like a thick rope, making everyday activities such as riding a motorcycle nearly impossible. To support the weight, he tied his hair into a bundle atop his head, though the strain on his neck was immense. Though he sought no fame, Tran's hair garnered international attention, though it was never officially recognized by the Guinness World Records. His legacy remains one of extraordinary dedication, showing how unconventional choices can leave a lasting impact. Dr. James Hamblin's radical skincare experiment. Dr. James Hamblin's exploration of hygiene began with a simple question: could skipping regular soap and baths lead to healthier skin? Inspired by unconventional thinkers like David Whitlock, Hamlin decided to test the theory himself. He believes that his skin has improved as a result of this approach, despite the unorthodox nature of his methods. Hamlin's youthful appearance and absence of body odor, confirmed by his partner, challenged conventional ideas of cleanliness. His approach mirrors Whitlock's, avoiding soap, hot water, antibacterial products, and deodorants to let his skin's natural ecosystem flourish. Hamlin argues that typical hygiene practices strip away beneficial bacteria and disrupt the skin's pH balance, causing excess oil production and odor. Although it wasn't easy, Hamlin recalls that, in the beginning, he smelled like an oily beast. However, as his skin adjusted, the odors diminished and his skin felt healthier. His experience suggests that much of the natural body odor we associate with poor hygiene may actually stem from soap-induced imbalances. Despite skepticism, Hamlin's story raises important questions. What does it truly mean to be clean? Could our modern obsession with hygiene be doing more harm than good? For Hamlin, the answer lies in trusting the body's natural ability to regulate itself, not brushing teeth. In 2007, Channel 4 launched the groundbreaking series Embarrassing Bodies, which brought intimate health issues into the spotlight. One standout moment came in 2011, when Jay, a 21-year-old, shocked viewers by admitting he had never brushed his teeth. His neglect was evident, with only a few decaying teeth remaining. Years of sugary snacks and poor hygiene led to this condition. However, Jay's story took a hopeful turn as he underwent a full dental makeover, highlighting the transformative impact of modern dentistry and the importance of regular oral care, ancient hygienic practices. In today's world, cleanliness is an essential part of health and daily life, with modern hygiene practices emphasizing the importance of washing regularly. However, in ancient civilizations, the concept of cleanliness was quite different, with each culture developing unique methods to maintain hygiene using the resources available to them. These practices not only reflect their ingenuity, but also offer a glimpse into how cleanliness intertwined with social status, beliefs, and everyday life. In ancient Rome, cleanliness was seen as a symbol of wealth and power. The elite Roman citizens indulged in lavish bathhouses, which were far more than just places for washing. These bathhouses featured hot pools, steam rooms, and areas for massage, offering a space for relaxation and socialization. People would spend hours there, engaging in conversation and leisure activities. However, this luxurious experience was reserved for the rich, while ordinary Romans had to find more practical solutions for staying clean. The Greeks, too, had their own approach to hygiene, adapting to the lack of modern soap. They used olive oil as a cleansing agent, applying it to their skin to loosen dirt and sweat. Afterward, they scraped the oil and impurities off with a tool called a strigil. This method may seem strange today, but it proved effective and was widely used in Greek society. In ancient Egypt, cleanliness was not only a matter of physical health, but also tied to spiritual practices. The Egyptians believed that cleanliness was essential for both the body and the soul. They frequently bathed in the Nile River, which was considered sacred. For the pharaohs and their royal court, this daily ritual was a sign of purity and devotion. Egyptians also used cosmetics, believing that substances like lead and charcoal could protect their skin from the sun and possibly even offer medicinal benefits. In China, cleanliness was connected to the balance of the body's energy. Acupuncture and massage were used to promote the flow of energy and cleanse the body. Tea was also considered an important part of maintaining health, thought to detoxify the body and extend life. Despite these innovative practices, there were still periods in history where cleanliness was not a priority. For instance, in the late 3rd century AD, Rome's advanced aqueduct system supplied water to public fountains and bathhouses. However, by 537 AD, the Goths had blocked the aqueducts, and the Catholic Church, which had significant influence over Rome's governance, declared bathing a form of pagan indulgence and prohibited it. Over time, many doctors even began to associate bathing with danger, warning that it could open the pores to harmful air and disease. One popular health book from the 16th century, this is the Mirror or Glass of Health, advised people against using baths, claiming they could lead to poisoning from the air. When royalty in Europe also held unconventional views on cleanliness. Queen Isabella of Spain, for example, claimed that she had only bathed twice in her life. Queen Elizabeth first reportedly bathed just once a month. Her successors, including James VI and I, were notorious for their aversion to water and reportedly never bathed at all. James was said to be so opposed to cleanliness that he would not even wash his hands before meals, instead brushing his fingers gently with a damp cloth. This disregard for hygiene was so extreme that a courtier once wrote to him saying, "So craving your blessing, I kiss your dirty hands." Given these royal practices, it is perhaps less surprising that modern-day individuals may choose to follow in their footsteps, defying societal norms about hygiene just as European monarchs once did. If you enjoyed learning about these fascinating, unconventional stories, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more intriguing content. Share your thoughts in the comments below. How would you live without the usual hygiene routines? Join us in exploring more unusual lifestyles from around the world. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.